Hello and welcome back. This is the second video. I filmed a video back end of 2018 showing you a time capsule of 01 and all the equipment that I received within that time capsule. It's taken me quite a bit of time to arrive at the second video, so apologies for that, but things have got in the way. But I have managed to start construction of a new layout to which I'm going to incorporate the 01 system partially to use it to control all my points and signals on the layout. I'm not going to be controlling the engines on this occasion with this system because I'm building a Triang based layout and using the Triang locomotives. I'm going to control them traditionally, probably with H&M Duet controllers, but this system I've decided to use for its display console, and as I mentioned, the accessory modules, which will control 4 accessories per module. You can mix that. You can control points and signals to which you program them with what's like a comb really that you plug into it, and depending on how you set the comb that you plug into the accessory module, determines which accessory the module will power, whether it's a burst of current to change a point, or whether it's continuous current for signals or lighting, etc. So okay, I'll show you how you start to set up this system as I set it up. So the first thing to show you is the track plan. Just bear with me. Okay, this is my track plan. This you can find if you search on the internet. I actually found it on a Triang Canadian site, but it is also on the Triang railway site. If you look under track plans and track plan information, you will see these layouts. There isn't much in the way of track plans for the early layouts in the mid 1950s to 1960s, but they did produce 1 or 2 plans for demonstration purposes. And as I understand it, this particular layout that I'm showing you, this one was designed to be set up in a shop that had the space, and Triang asked the retailers if they could have a display layout within their premises, and they would send them, I believe, all the track, pre-coloured Triang red baseboards, and all the equipment to set this up. And as you can see, looking at this track plan, this is purely designed for running, to run locomotives and rolling stock, to show off the products of Triang as they were growing the system and trying to promote it and demolish the competition, which at the time was Hornby 00, and they succeeded, as I'm sure a lot of you know. So this plan has an upper level, as you can see, with a couple of bridges to fly over there, and also the ore operating set, a turntable and electric level crossing. So what we do, getting back to 01, is we have to transplant this plan onto 01 practice drawing sheets, which come supplied with the display panels, and I'll show you that now. Okay, these are the practice drawing sheets. As I mentioned, on this particular plan, it's been necessary to draw them out onto 3 practice sheets, which, as you probably guess, it's going to require 3 panels to display this layout. So you draw out your plan and transplant it onto these drawing sheets. It is a little bit tricky to do, but eventually you get the hang of it with trial and error, and you should be able to produce it as I have done here. So that's the plan, including the turntable you can see there, and the sidings, engine sheds, etc. So once you've done that and you've got an idea where everything goes, I have marked out, as you can see with the little X's there, that's where the LEDs intend to go on that particular point there, to show you which way the point is switched. You do the same with the signals. You look at the location of your signal and you would mark that out to where the LED is going to go. They tend to use the LED lit to show that that line is clear, and if the LED is switched the other way away from the track plan, that's to show that that's set at danger. So that's how you would do that. Right, I'll show you what happens next. Okay, so here are 3 panels, and as you can now see, looks quite impressive, doesn't it? The plan is now marked out onto the panels. The tape that you see is supplied with the panels. It's an adhesive card, well, paper actually. It's adhesive paper that you cut out in strips, and you then stick it on, onto the panels. And then you'll notice, as I mentioned earlier, you cut out the slots as to where the points are and where the LEDs are intending to be fitted, to show you the status of your points and signals. These 2 here, you can see clearly where the point goes, and the next one there to the right, that is where the signal will be, to show the status of set to danger or line clear. So that's the panels. I'll then go on to show you some of the equipment that fits into these panels. Bear with me. Okay, what we have here, we have a linking lead, and these are designed to plug in to the end of the modules. These are the display modules themselves. You'll notice if it's in focus there, you've got an input and an output. So you plug the extension lead into there, and then you would daisy chain it to the next one in the sequence. The LEDs, these are one of the LEDs. They're red in colour. In the catalogue originally, I think in 1981, the LEDs were shown as green by Hornby. They played about, as I believe, with different coloured LEDs to see which ones showed up the best. They were intending to use green, but then realised that the red actually shows up on the panels much better. So that was the decision. So these LEDs plug into the honeycomb at the back of the panel and clip through, and they do protrude because they have, unlike conventional LEDs as we know, these have quite a tip on them, which will come through the holes of the panels, so you can actually see these really well when it's lit up. So that's your LEDs. Each module has 4 positions on both sides. Each position, as you can imagine, is for one LED. The reason it has ports on the opposite side is if you have a situation where you have 2 points or 2 signals that need to be switched at the same time, you can program the 01 accessory modules, which is, bear with me, which is one of these, and you can switch a point or a signal at the same time. So to be able to show the status of that, you would plug a LED in the opposite side, and that would then switch at the same time to show you the 2 points changing together, and the LEDs would change together. But under normal circumstances, you would just use the 4. Each panel, individual panel, will house 8 LEDs, unless, as I said, unless they're duplicate. So you have 2 positions on the rear of the panel. That's the honeycomb. The panels themselves have a backing plate that you screw on, and you can see the slots here. The slots on those is how you clip these in. You can see the tabs, and they clip in to the back of the panel like so, and that's how it holds them into position, and then these back plates screw in. So yeah, 2 modules per panel, so I can fit 6 to this. 6 4s are 24, so that will be 24 LEDs on these panels can be illuminated. I guess it would be possible to squeeze some more in if you so wish, but it's not actually designed to do that. But I'll let you know how I get on. I think on my layout, I think there's 15 points and 8 signals currently for me to display with the LEDs. So I've got more than enough positions at the moment to be able to do that. So that's the accessories. I'll now take you up and show you the actual console. Bear with me. Okay, this is the Micro Mimic display console. It sits on top of 01. It's designed to be neat and blend in with the rest of the system. It has a LED setup light on it. It also has a small display window displaying the number of the accessory, I believe, that you've operated and which direction, as you can see there, you operated it in. And it retains that information until you switch another accessory, so it reminds you what the last operation was that you performed. There are, as you can see, extra controls on the top of this console, but these have no function. I believe this was for further expansion of the system, but sadly when Hornby Railways went into receivership, it ended the development of 01. So although it was planned, the system didn't go any further than phase 3, which is a real shame, because I believe the next phase of the system was to introduce sound to the locomotives, something we're familiar with today. But way back then, in 1980, it was certainly on the cards to do just that. It also has a facility for a light pen as well, which plugs in. I can't remember if it plugs into this or on the back, but the light pen I believe would have been used to potentially scan to switch a point with a light pen, which is quite clever, like the probe system, I'm guessing, that you can have with studs for switching the points. You can do it directly from a plan. And then obviously you've got the panels with phase 3 as well to display your layout. So this system, you know, for its time, it was well advanced. It really was an incredible move forward in control systems, although it's sad that Hornby don't really acknowledge the system not any longer. But to me, it was a groundbreaking system, and I was so pleased to get my hands on one after all these years, and now finally I have the chance to set it up and use it. Certainly for the control of my points, signals, lighting, and the display. I don't believe there's any other system out there currently that I'm aware of that displays the status of your points and signals on panels. So for that reason, it's extremely useful. Controlling the locomotives, anybody's wondering about that, it does work. It's not as smooth as the modern day systems, as you can imagine. I mean, technology has moved on in leaps and bounds since then. So it does work. I have had locomotives under the control of 01. Your track and your locomotives have to be spotlessly clean, and the system does work reasonably well. It seems to work better with the Ringfield motors, to which Hornby did add spade connectors to the locomotives to enable the fitting of the modules much more simply than having to solder. So they does seem to work better with the Ringfield motors and the tender drive than it does with the earlier locomotives, with the XO4 motors, for example. You can get it to work, but it's, you know, I think there's only 14 speed steps as well, 14 increments of speed on the slider there, which is not very much by today's standards. So, but anyway, I'll post another video once I've got this system set up and show it all working. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care. Bye for now.